Good day, my darling oddities, and welcome back to Otter Space, the part of your brain that can't remember why you came in the room. My name's Otter, and this is broadcast from Otter Space. Today's special guest is the ghost host who loves puns the most, Gabrielle The Ghost Gamer! Yay! That's
Good evening. How's it going?
Hello, Gabriella. Thank you for joining me today. How are you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Out haunting people.
Dig
Had a
it,
busy
dig it.
day of saying boo to everybody.
Going out, saying the booze. Oh, some people say they live for the weekend, so they can see the booze. I think you might be going a different route with it. Uh,
Definitely.
all right. Well, so Gabriella is kind enough to join us tonight, and I cannot promise that I won't be dropping puns as much as possible, but I think that's what a lot of people sign up for with this kind of thing. So, Gabriella, why don't you go ahead and start by telling our audience a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm Gabrielle the Ghost Gamer. I tell bad jokes. I play retro games. I'm starting to integrate public domain movies into my repertoire and interviews, and I just do variety stuff. I try to be funny, and every once in a while there's some scares in my videos. So if you see some weird haunted stuff, it's ran by a ghost. What can I say? My channel's haunted.
The occasional spook it just keeps the blood pumping, right? I mean,
Oh,
if you're following a
definitely.
ghost, you really got to expect that kind of thing. As it is, it looks like my couch is trying to eat you. I apologize for that. Either that or you're possessing the couch, whatever comes first. Uh,
Well, I mean, I face through things. It's what I do. I mean, I can't very well sit on anything, so I kind of got to stand here through it.
that's fair. That's someday I'll have to take a couch, bring it out back, shoot it, and kill it. Bring it back as a ghost couch for you. Do the old
That's how that works.
yep. I'm pretty sure that's how that
I can't I
works.
can't I can't stand to sit. So
Ah. Well, I'd say take a seat, but you're already in it, so whatever. Last time I had talked this much about my couch, it was about it being a mimic from D&D. So I believe the couch's lore is starting to expand a little bit. Someday the couch will be running the show instead of me.
that's a
Um,
scary thought.
that is a scary thought, yeah. Couch mimics. So if I ever get $1 million, I think I'll have customized couch mimic art made for me. Oh shit, I shouldn't have said customized art on stream. I can feel the bots coming for me already. So
Well, I mean, I got some art I can sell you if you like.
is it of a is it of a cursed demon couch? Because that's the art I'm looking
I mean,
for.
I don't know. That's what the GFX asked. Like, hi, how are you doing? Do I have some art to sell you? It's like, okay.
So this is kind of a good topic to touch on as a 1v2 bird to another. What is the most fun you've had with a GFX artist?
I had a GFX artist, and that's not it was a bot, but blocked me because they were just talking, and all of a sudden they kept sharing pictures with me and showing me their life story, which is weird because they're just trying to sell me art, and then they asked for a picture of me, which I was like, I'm not doing that. And then they asked me, what am I having for dinner? And I was about to answer, then he blocked me. I was like, well, what is going on? Why do you hate me because I eat food? I don't know.
Because
It's weird.
it's because you're not a real ghost. I mean, isn't that the new Twitter thing? Is everybody's apologizing for not being really their VTuber self?
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, what? I mean, you don't expect us to be the person we are. I mean, and it's silly to think, a spider can talk or a moth can talk. I mean, that's not how things work. We're VTubers because we don't want to share our face, and now everybody's like expecting to share their face, and then people get mad because you don't look exactly like your model, and it's like, well, what do you want from us?
Yeah. So, folks, I'm gonna say this in front of an audience right now. I am, in fact, not a brown otter. I am actually a gray otter. I'm sorry I lied to my community, and I accept all the consequences that come with that. But I
Yeah,
do
I
actually
I
have the
am
hat,
a
though.
ghost because I am haunting this house. Oh, it's an awesome hat.
Thank
I
you.
love the hat too. It's I love the lure of the hat. It's my favorite things ever.
So yeah, the long history. So not this particular hat that I'm wearing right now, but I have another top hat that has a fun story to it. You want to hear the fun top hat story?
Oh, I'd love to.
So
I
let
always I like top stories.
let me start by saying cisgendered weddings are they're just the man is completely worthless in it. But trust me, as a cisgender person that is married, I can say that I was not the focus of the wedding at all. Um, and
Okay.
and this does tie into why I have the other hat. So so we went to a wedding show, right? You ever been to a wedding show, Gabriella?
I never have. I mean, I've been to
Okay.
a wedding or two, but I've never been to a wedding show.
All
Is it?
right,
You
don't
gotta
ever.
explain to me what that is at
So
some
a
point.
wedding show is just a big place for people to try and sell you stuff for your wedding. That's all it is. Um,
Ew.
yeah, it's as bad as it sounds. I promise. They're probably worse. So I get dragged in there because I'm getting married and blah de da de da, and the dress and the flowers, and I'm just like, well, I don't get a say in the dress, I don't get a say in the flowers, so okay, fine. Oh, the venue, we already picked out our venue, so we're good. Blah blah blah. And then I see it across the walkway from where I am. Men's Warehouse now serving otters. I was like, yes, this this is my moment. This is the one thing I get to have something to do with here. I'm gonna pick out my otter suit. They say serving otter, so I assume they can make a hole in the back of the pants for the tail. So I'm ready to go talk up some guy and try to get good prices on a suit, right? Go across the
Okay.
puffing up my chest. I finally know I can finally talk about something in this nonsense. And he says, "Where's your wife?" Excuse me? Where's the wife to be? Well, she's not going to be wearing a suit, so I don't think that really matters. No, no, don't come talking to us without your wife. I'm like, but, but, but the suit, it's my thing. Nope, no, we're not going to let you do anything without the wife present. I'm like, "Ah, but the suit, that's all I very
They don't
seldom
let
felt
you
more
have
defeated.
anything, huh?
Nope. But you know what? So to tie back to the hat situation, um, so when we picked out the suits and blah de da de da, and we're at the men's warehouse getting sized and fitted and blah de da de da, I jokingly said, you know what? I haven't been able to pick a damn thing. If I had my way, I'd have a top hat because I like top hats. But I only have the cursed Frosty the Snowman top hat at the time, so I couldn't wear that to the wedding. I knew I was gonna get some flack for it. And the store person that sized me up goes, "You want top hat?" I go, "Yes." I get a top hat. You get top hat, $30. Top hat, cane, gloves, whole set, yours to keep, $30. Like, I love you.
I like his accent.
I can't even remember if he really had that accent, but for some reason in my mind he did. So
No, it makes the story better. I like it.
get your top hat. There you go. Good Otter. It's third talking otter this week. Never asked him where the other talking otters went. All right, but enough about me.
Oh,
Let's talk about
wow.
you. So I understand you have some stuff. I need to stop laughing at my own jokes. It's horrible.
No, it's good. I like it.
So enough about me. Let's talk about you. So you're a game developer. Tell us a little bit about that.
Um, I run a game company called Terror 20 Games. I mostly do visual novels, and I really like to add like bits of horror and philosophy and art house stuff into it. I've only developed two games so far. The first one was kind of, hey, let's test out, get my feet wet, and it turned out to be like a really weird uh, puzzle, push block puzzle game where it did okay. And then I did a visual novel game, which, oh my goodness, I didn't think I could do what I did, and I got really stressed out doing it. I ended up directing it, doing the artwork, the music, producing it. And I gotta tell you, people who direct stuff, I understand why they get all the credit they do because when you're a director, you make every decision, and it is hard. You gotta draw all the storyboards. You gotta do everything, hire everybody, and just it's absolutely nuts. So yeah, I got the two games I got developed are Heaven's Voice, Feast of Famine, and Chaos Law, which is the one I'm really trying to sell because uh well, I wrote the story back in high school and I spent a good, I don't know, 10 years perfecting it until it was
Wow.
actually ready for to get out there. And I just it's a story I really want to share because I just worked so hard on it. And yeah, so it's free on Steam, so you guys got a chance to check it out.
Yep. And I put links
I
to it,
recommend
and
it because
I recommend it because I made it.
I
No arguments there.
yeah, exactly.
So I do have the background here. I can't really wave my paw at it, but there it is on screen, and down
Yeah,
below in
yeah.
the description, I've got a link directly to the Steam store page. So anybody watching now or in the future, please go ahead and check it out. Give Gabriella some love. That would be lovely. Um, so
Um, fair warning for anybody who does stream it, there is a scene that YouTube wouldn't like because there's like
ruh
self harm in it
Ah,
considerably. So make sure to censor that bit out or give forewarning for on YouTube if you
right, right,
decide to
right.
stream it.
So do your homework, people. Yeah, so that's great. So visual novels. I'll be honest with you. I've never been much of a visual novel kind of otter. The closest I've gotten is Danganronpa. Yeah. Now I'm assuming you know about Danganronpa.
I'm very well aware of Danganronpa, and when I did the visual novel I made, I tried to make it like Danganronpa with the
Ah.
mini games and actual the ability to lose and like different things you can do in it. It's not just a visual novel. Mini games help, gameplay helps, and actual decisions matter.
Yep.
Now I played a bunch of visual novels because I like visual novels. A lot of them are very not safe for work, and I don't know if I can mention them on this thing, but. Yeah, lots of visual novels. They're fun because it's like reading a book, but there's pictures and there's more pictures than words, and it's reading for dummies, and I'm a dummy, so it works.
So so again, my visual novel capability is basically limited to Danganronpa. So we're gonna keep that as my scope of conversation here because it's something I can actually speak on to an equal footing. So have you played all of the Danganronpa games?
I played the first one. I
Mhm.
played part of the second one. I didn't get all the way through. I got to past the intro. I seen the every episode of the anime.
Ah,
I know that's not the same. I mean, the first season was the same as the game, but the season two and three are different stories, I guess. Yeah, but
yeah.
yeah, I'm
So I mean, all three kind of tie together to some degree. You could make well, okay. So I guess there's technically four. So So Danganronpa 1, Danganronpa 2, and Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls. Those are all firmly in the same canon, the same timeline. They all play nicely together. Danganronpa 3, there's some arguments there. I've never played Ultra Despair Girls. My funny story about how I got into the series was one year for a Christmas or a birthday, I don't remember. I was shopping for my best friend, and I'm like, oh damn, I don't know what to get this guy because he's the kind of guy that if he wants it, he'll usually get it, or he won't really pay attention to it or whatever. So I went shopping for him, and I found it came down to two games because I asked the guy at the store. I said, hey, what's a good game to buy for somebody? He says, well, I've heard this Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls is pretty popular. And I said, oh, okay, all right, I'll give it a shot. It's worst case, I don't know if this is gonna be his kind of thing, so I'll get a game I know he'll like, right? So I got
mhm.
and now I can't even remember the name of the other game, but it was like that Final Fantasy fighting game. Um,
um Dissidia.
Dissidia, thank you. I knew it had a D, but I kept wanting to say Disgaea, and I was like, that was an entirely different thing. So I got Dissidia, and I was like, okay, he's definitely gonna like Dissidia. And maybe he'll like Altered Spare Girls a little bit. I don't know, probably not, but I'll hedge my bets with a game I'm sure he'll like. I'm pretty sure he doesn't
Mhm.
even have Dissidia anymore, but he literally has like merch from Danganronpa. He has all the Danganronpa games. He's watched the whole 9 yards. Kind of started him in the center of the series by accident because I don't know anything at this point. Um,
Well, it's a good game. It was my first experience with Danganronpa was Otter the Spirit Girls
oh, okay.
myself.
And
So
that's the only one of the main series I haven't played yet. I've played 1, 2, and 3. I beat 1 and 2, never beat 3. But I have it. I have it for it just came out as a collection for Switch, so at some point I got to get on that.
yeah, I was planning on getting that for streaming purposes because I think that'd be a fun game to stream. Would be the Danganronpa series.
Yeah, it would, but I feel like at least for me, me and my feeble little otter brain, half the fun is not knowing what's gonna happen. So I feel like I would
Right? No, I
lose.
get that.
Like for myself, since it's mostly just me on my own streams, I'd just be sitting there. It's like, well, he's about to die. Look at that, he's dead. Yep.
Yeah.
And
A good if you like the Danganronpa series, I strongly suggest playing the Ace Attorney series. It's absolutely phenomenal. If you have played Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright, those games are like visual novels.
hmm,
But logic puzzles too, they're pretty good. I'd strongly suggest playing those if you like Danganronpa.
I tried one Phoenix Wright game a while back, and I could not tell you. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but I was distracted by something else and just never ended up going back to it. Um, but you know what? Actually, this is a pretty good segue. So speaking of video games and video game IPs, so whenever I get somebody on to broadcast from outer space, I ask them to give me a topic, right? And Gabriella knows where I'm going with this. But try to tell them to give me a topic
Yeah.
because I'm going to trot out the yay and boo line, otherwise known as the tier
Ooh.
line. So it's very clear because it takes a lot of brain power for me to function properly. So yay means that you think the game is worth a yay. Boo means you don't like it and you go boo. Not the boo you would normally do where you're like boo because you're a ghost.
Ooh. I'm a ghost. That's what I do.
So
Knock knock.
in this context, boo is bad. Um, so I know that's going to take a bit of a learning curve on that one for you. But so we're gonna
That's all right.
the topic is IPs that have been on Nintendo, right? So Nintendo, please
Ooh.
don't
Love
copyright
me some
claim this.
Nintendo.
So I have preloaded a bunch of pictures of core Nintendo IPs. Um, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put them on the tier list. You're gonna put them on a tier list. I'm just in control of the movements. The opinions expressed in this particular tier list are not necessarily those of Broadcast from Outer Space. Any affiliates, blah 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 blah. Don't shoot me if she says something you don't disagree with, okay?
I did whatever the opinion is popular. I'm going to disagree with it because I'm just terrible. I have bad opinions. I like black licorice.
You
Anyways.
know what? You we'll still be friends even though I disagree with black licorice. You know what? We'll be friends because that means if I ever get black licorice, I know where I can get rid of it. Um,
There you go.
oh man, now I want chewing licorice. You ever have chewing licorice?
Yes, I love it.
Oh, I freaking love chewing licorice. There's two main kinds, right? There's the willy wallabies or something like that, which is okay. It's not great, but then there's that other one. For the life of me, I can't remember the name. Sorry, I'm getting wicked distracted. Now I want chewing licorice,
It's fine.
and I don't even know where to.
I've only had the Willy Wallaby one, so the other one I don't even know about.
Oh, it's so much better. It's chewier, more licorice like a
Lick a lot of like a
lick a
laka.
laka lick a lick. He tick a lick a lick a tuck. Oh boy, I'm getting canceled. Uh, okay. Um, remind me to Alexa, remind me to check Amazon later for chewing licorice. I don't have an
All
Alexa.
right then. Eh, Uh, I didn't even don't even know what Alexa is. I'm like
It's
from the Stone Age. So
it's okay. It's the robot you yell at to make you buy stuff on Amazon you don't need.
I I don't trust technology
No,
enough
no,
to
that's fair,
not know.
and that's why I don't have an Alexa, is because I wouldn't want to be like, Alexa, disconnect from the government. Sorry, George, I can't do that. I don't know where George came from.
Hey,
Anywho, Mario, or yeah, Mario, boom, the OG, the classic Nintendo franchise. Where are we putting it on our list? Are we putting it high? Are we putting it low? I'm putting it on my head. That's what I'm doing.
I ooh, even possessed by Mario, like in the Odyssey games. I actually really liked Mario. Mario's like very much was my first game as a child. First game I remember was Mario Brothers, and each Mario game's different. But I'd say I put Mario pretty high, not top, but a little above like average. I think Mario's really good. Um, yeah, my favorite one, Super Mario Brothers 3. That game is really, really, really good. What's your favorite Mario game?
Hmm, that's a tough question. The one that springs to mind are kind of the more recent, what you might call classics, I guess. I mean, I've played my fair share of Mario games. I remember Super Mario for the SNES for not great reasons, so we won't go into that. But like the Mario N64 is one of the favorites, is a classic favorite, and of course Mario Sunshine. Um,
I still need to play Mario Sunshine. It's one of the ones I missed.
okay, so
Been playing Mario Odyssey. That one's good.
there's your stream idea. That is there. If you have never played Mario Sunshine, you gotta play some Mario Sunshine.
Okay, I picked up the 3D collection
Yes.
when it was, oh, you have to get it now or you'll miss your chance, and it was in Best Buy for years after.
Well, yeah. Me
Which
and
is like, okay.
Me and Best Buy are not on speaking terms right now. By the by, uh, eh. So to didn't even mean that one.
You know what you did, Best Buy. You know what you
They know
did.
what they did. Well, just suffice it to say is I did not get my Best Buy order for the Pokemon game. So now I am I have extra or I will be having extra copies soon, but I have them slated for other plans. So
This is why people. This is why people like commit arson. You know, you don't pre-order something and you don't have order. That's why this
well,
is why crimes happen. This is why people turn into werewolves.
this
This is what
this is
happens.
why people turn into werewolves. It's like, if you got my game, no.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, you have to get your pre-order D-Day up, or why did you pre-order it?
You ever see? So it was that I didn't pre-order it at a store. Let me be very clear. It was supposed to be delivered on release day. The release day guarantee. BS. No, I'm not even gonna be getting the copy I ordered till Monday. So
Oh,
yeah. So needless to say, I
I'm
was
so sorry.
no. So I went down the walkway. I was like, you know what? Forget this. I'm going to GameStop. I'm gonna spend the money. I'm gonna buy the games right now because that's it. And I'm never pre-ordering for delivery again. I'm gonna go back old school. I'll be midnight release and nonsense. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm too old. I am an old otter. Um, what were we talking? Oh yeah, Mario.
Mario,
uh,
Mario.
so yeah,
You
about
whatever
halfway
you
up.
Mario game, whatever one it is.
So I don't. Can you see the tier line on your screen at all?
Yeah, I can see it
Okay,
perfectly
is that
fine.
a pretty good spot for your Mario then?
Oh yeah, that's a good spot.
Cool,
How
cool.
do you feel about the Mario Party games? They don't really
Okay.
make friends, but I do enjoy them.
They don't make friends; they end friends. So I have been playing Mario Party since the OG. My hands still hurt from the old N64 Mario Party 1 with the spin the controller. Like
Oh, the 64 controller.
oh
Ooh,
yeah,
ooh.
oh yeah. Like I was one of those. I didn't get a blister on my hand, but I did get some torn flesh on my hand. Um, so
No, I've done
it
that
is what
on
it is.
both.
Hey, you know what? Flesh grows back. High scores are forever. Um, you can
True.
quote that. Uh,
I don't have flesh anymore, so
hey, you know what? There you go.
I can cover that.
All right, so you know what? That brings up an interesting question. Do you have specially made spectral controllers for your gaming?
Absolutely. I mean, everything I got is from dead consoles. So, that's why I play things
Ah,
on the PSP and Sega Genesis because they're dead.
dead console. Okay, that's funny. Oh my god, dead consoles. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let me just tell you how I before we move on from the Mario Party bit is I did come across because they made specially made gloves for those kids that use the palm of their hand for that circles game.
What?
Yeah, they
I
made
want one now.
right. I gotta Google this. You know what? Hold on. It's my show. I can do what I want. So let me see here.
Yep.
Mario Party glove.
They better be giant white hands like his gloves. That's what I didn't need to be that.
Let's see the time. Okay, hold on. So I'm gonna save this image and I'm gonna share this image. God, I hope this is a real thing, because otherwise I feel stupid. But I want it. I want to
Well, I mean,
believe.
worst case scenario, you find the power glove. Ooh, remember that? The power glove?
You know what?
Because
I
that
never.
thing worked.
Whoa, holy moly, that's a big picture. What?
Whoa. Yeah, those are actually cool looking gloves. I could
Right,
use those for cosplay.
right. I'd wear
Yeah,
that.
those are cool.
So I don't know if these are legitimately gloves. Supposedly they are, but yeah. So I guess there was some kind of class action nonsense or some such. I don't know the details. I wasn't there. I didn't whine about it because I knew what I was getting myself into. Like
Oh yeah.
you spin your hand around on a solid object, you're not doing good for yourself, right?
Right, exactly.
But
If you have a pair of leather gloves you can wear, do it. I mean, it's comfortable wearing leather gloves and playing video games, right?
well,
Right?
my workaround
No,
was
just me.
you wear leather gloves. Well, okay, so you heard it here first, folks. Gabriella wears leather gloves while playing her video games. Um, so I now so hold on, how does that work? So leather's made from cows, right? Cows had to die to get so do the ghost cows hang out with you when you wear leather?
Yes, it's a very moving
Damn it, she
experience.
beat me to it. Ah!
Sorry,
She beat
I
me to it.
forgot everything.
I was setting myself up for it. I was ready. I was ready, Gabriella, and you swooped in. You got there first. Well, I don't want to milk that subject too much more, so we'll move on. Um, okay, so yeah, I ended up using a sock to defeat the blister situation. So, not the maybe not the cleanliest solution because socks, but it
If
worked
you have
around.
a washing machine, it's fine. They
Well,
wash.
this is the olden days. This is the '90s, the wild west of the early '90s. Or when did Mario Party come out? The first Mario Party.
I
Google
have
time.
no idea.
JFGI people,
Oh,
just
it came out in 1964, right? Nintendo 64. I don't know how time works.
for a very brief moment, I thought you were serious.
No,
Like
I
I was like,
never grew
damn,
up
really?
NES, so
Mario Party 1 came out February 8th, 1999. Okay, that sounds right.
oh, I just
So
I
so
learned something.
So it wasn't the late '90s, or it wasn't the early '90s, it was the late '90s. But it was the Wild West. It was when people still believed the world was going to explode when 2000 hit. Um,
Well,
so
I've got a story about that.
oh,
So I was at a party like from 2000. Yeah, we thought that the 2000 when it happened that the world's gonna end or power was gonna go. So
mhm.
my friend at the party waited for the countdown, and then when it hit, the ball dropped. He went downstairs and turned off the power to the house. Everybody freaked out, and I'm like, I knew I was in on the joke, and I was like, I can't believe you did that.
Can't believe you've done
Why?
this. That's
Yeah,
funny. That is.
it was oh yeah, it was hilarious.
And the smell was rancid from all of the deuces that dropped that moment. Uh, yeah. So the world's still not over, but hey, there's time. There's a lot of other things
Yeah,
that'll end the world. Famine, poverty, meteors, Elon Musk, whatever comes first. Uh,
right?
uh, I shouldn't laugh at my own.
Yeah.
I really gotta stop laughing at my own
No,
thing.
it's fine. It's fine. I'm laughing myself. It's just
Funny
the
joke.
whole Elon Musk situation. The whole
Yeah.
Elon Musk situation. It's just I don't can't believe that people think Twitter's gonna end. I'm like, what?
So I'm not
No,
saying that
people.
Twitter will never end, right? So I'm not saying it'll never end.
Oh no, everything ends eventually.
Everything ends
Yeah.
eventually, exactly. But let's just be perfectly honest. The man has enough money to literally end world hunger. He had a plan written out to end world hunger. He decided not to do it because reasons, I guess. I don't know the full story.
Because hey, you can profit off hunger.
You know what?
You
This is
sell
true.
people.
You can solve the cure, or you can payment plan the treatment, right? Um,
Right, exactly.
but neither here nor there on that particular thing. But the man has enough money to buy out God, right? So let's be honest. He just spent a bunch of money to get Twitter. Even if it's a
Oh yeah,
horrible,
yeah.
horrible homunculus shadow shell of its former self, whatever you want to say about it, he's not gonna let it die that quickly. He's gonna throw
Like
money at it.
worst case scenario, it's definitely bad. That's the
Yeah,
worst case
yeah, he
scenario.
could absolutely ruin it. I'm not saying he couldn't ruin it, but I'm saying he won't let it die that easily. It'll be Frankenstein's Twitter before long, you know. It's alive, it's alive, but it won't be pretty. But it will be alive. So will it slowly burn to death? Sure, but will it crash and explode? Not so much. That's my take from outer space here. You know, do with it what you will. But let's
Yeah,
back
worst
to
case
video.
scenario, everybody gets Discord. All right,
Yeah,
so
this is
yeah,
true.
what are we on now?
Video games. All right. So
Yes.
almost as OG as Mario is, of course, the one I can't find on the list. Here it is. Boom. Zelda.
Oh, okay.
Hello.
Legend of Zelda. When it comes to Zelda, I'm an old head, and I really like the NES ones,
Yeah.
and Link to the Past, the Super Nintendo one's my favorite. And I like Ocarina of Time, but then I'm gonna be real, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this. I did not like Breath of the Wild. To me, it wasn't
Ooh.
Zelda. Just that's my opinion on it. I mean, hey, hate me if you want. You know, it just to me that's it's not. Is it a bad game? No. Is it Zelda? Also no. So
Yeah, that's
that's
fair.
my opinion on it.
My grandmother would say opinions are like buttholes. Everyone's got them and they all stink. Uh,
Oh
so
yeah, yeah.
so where do you put the Zelda franchise as a whole on our little list here?
Um, Probably in the middle because like at least I like the earlier ones. The newer ones, other than Ocarina of Time, I didn't really like the 3D ones, which is my opinion on that. But yeah, I like the old school ones. I like the top down ones. Link Between Worlds was amazing. I love that one.
Mm-hmm.
Minish Cap was great. Like I said, all the top down ones, they're my jam. So like Twilight Princess, just they're not bad games. They're just to me
Mm-hmm.
that I think is better in 2D. What's your opinion on it?
So I liked the 3D ones. I have a lot of memories of playing Ocarina of Time, like pretty much every kid in my general neighborhood as far as age
Oh yeah,
goes.
the Ocarina of Time was great.
Like it's the weirdest thing, you know. I have a very specific scent memory with Ocarina of Time. They say scent is the strongest sense related to memory, right? Um, and when I was younger, I did not have an N64 of my own. I had to borrow or play N64 in my aunt and uncle's apartment. If they, you know, and they were very nice to let me play, and that was great. So much love, much love. But they had these candles, these hazelnut candles, and they always had those
I
hazelnut candles burning. And to this
kind
day,
of like the Deku Nuts, yeah.
what's that?
Immersive experience with a Deku, like an immersive experience with a Deku
Yeah,
Nuts,
yeah.
kinda. I
So
don't
every
know.
time I smell that very specific scent, I'm like, Ocarina of Time? Huh? And it brings me right back. It is a knee jerk. It is like it is ingrained all the way under the hat. It is all up in there. But that very specific scent always makes me think of Ocarina of Time. Um, and I just can't unlink the two. But that said, I played Ocarina of Time when
You
it
can't
was.
can't unlink the two.
There's definitely a link between smells. Uh,
Oh, I'd play that game. I would play A Link Between Smells.
uh, I don't know if I'd want to, but I won't try forcing it.
I have no sense of smell actually. When I was a child, I got like a lit cigarette up my nose,
Oh
and it ruined
Jesus!
my sense of smell. And now I cannot smell anything.
Oh
It's,
damn!
I think it's more of a blessing than a curse, though. You
Well,
know,
I mean, in some ways,
right?
sure. I mean, as a father, I can agree there are some smells that I'd rather not be smelling. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Surreptitious glance at the children. All right. No, she's being good. She's chilling. So let
That's
me tell you,
good.
the bean has recently learned to walk, and it is dangerous for everybody involved. Um,
Oh wow.
right now she can still be contained in baby jail, but that time is short and not gonna. There's gonna be a time where that will no
She's
longer
gonna
contain
learn to
her.
unlock the baby jail door and just
Yeah,
walk
yeah.
out.
There's a very limited shelf life on baby jail, and it is ticking down as they speak. So I'm always keeping an eye on her because any moment the little being could just appear. Appear. Where's the button? There's the appear. There she is.
There
So
we go.
I'm like, button. Who has the button? No, wrong button. There's the button. Oh my goodness. Um. So VTuber has mild stroke on stream.
That's
uh.
all right.
Any
Okay,
hoozles.
so I actually have the Master Sword. I
Oh.
don't know why it was in a pawn shop. Maybe Link was having money troubles. But yeah, I found the Master Sword at a pawn shop. So I was like, hey, if Ganon ever shows up in my hometown, well, he's got a thing. He's got to fight a ghost and
Got
probably
some
win
got
because
a
I
few
can't
things.
fight. I'm a ghost.
Now let me ask you this: when you picked it up, did he go dan?
The guy selling it to me might have done that.
Just looks at you like, well, my day just got weirder and weirder. First I got a sword dropped off from some mute kid in a green hat. That was a weird day. And then a ghost shows up. I don't know why the pawn shop guy is British, but here we are. And then a bloody ghost shows up, and it's like, oh, I'll have that, I will. And then she picked up and she went, no, 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 and she just took off with it. That was the strangest day. And I really don't know why the pawn shop guy is British. What is wrong with me?
Okay with him being British.
It was a British.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Hyrule is in South Britain. Uh,
I'm okay with that. I mean, I believe that he might have had a New York accent, but I'm not sure. It might have been British. He had an
uh,
accent.
to be fair, my wife would tell me all my accents sound the same, which is probably correct. Um, and this is why I didn't go into voice acting. This is why I just use my regular voice. When I first got into VTubing, I said, should I get a voice modulator? And I got one of the nicest compliments from somebody I was talking to about it. And I was like, well, here's my character. I'm an otter. I have a top hat. This is what I'm gonna look like. Blah blah blah. And I said, but do you think I should change my voice so that it is like maybe a higher voice, a little chipmunk kind of thing going? She says, no. He's wearing a top hat. It has to sound like you. And I said, that is the best compliment I have ever received in my
Makes
entire
sense.
life. So,
Now, you can tell that I'm using a echo effect for my voice, and I use a voice modulator, and it's not terrible. I mean, I don't think voice modulators are bad,
oh
but
no,
here's the
no.
thing. I think most people who um don't they say they don't like their voice, but here's the thing: most people when they say they don't like their voice, is not true. It's they're not used to their voice.
Hmm.
I'm trailing back because I make video games. I had to hire a lot of voice actors because voice work and all that, and
Yeah.
so I had to take on the role of a voice director. And I do voice directing anyway. It's something I did for a little bit, and
Hmm.
you actually have a very nice voice, and
Oh.
if I was going to cast. voice casting and you showed up, I would use your natural voice for your
Oh,
character. I actually would. So I would say that you have a nice sounding voice.
well,
There's
thank you.
no need for the voice
I'm
acting.
gonna put that right alongside the top hat statement as nicest things anybody's ever said to me. So thank you. I appreciate that. What was I gonna say?
No problem.
I was about to say something. Oh, yeah. So like when I first started with streaming and I had the Otter 1.0 form and I don't know if I still have that around here. Have you ever seen you've seen Otter 1.0, right?
Yeah, yes, I did.
Yes,
I,
yeah.
I rather liked Odd.
You're an OG. You know, my aunt is still, yeah, my whole family knows I do this stuff, by the by. My aunt says
Oh,
she's,
same here.
yeah, she says she still likes the old the PNG Otter, not the sexy version that I am now, but the original round boy Otter that I drew myself in Krita. And she's like, I still like the original one better. He had more character. I'm like, he he couldn't move. How does he have more character? He
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
move.
I mean, okay, I don't know if character's the right word, but maybe more personality because he's more scruffy, I guess, or
Yeah, yeah,
maybe
that's true.
more volume because he's more scruffy. Like,
I don't
I
know.
mean, if a sponge absorbs more water, does it add more personality? I don't know. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Otter and sponge. What do these two things have in common? If you squeeze this, liquid comes out. Oh god, I just
Ew,
realized.
ew, ew.
No, I meant like blood, blood. Oh god. Cancel Otter.
No,
No,
get worse, get
it got
worse.
worse. All right, moving on, moving on, moving on. Otters and sponges have nothing in common. Moving on. Oh my god, don't clip that. Uh, uh, not that people clip my content, but you know. Where were we? Oh Lord. Where the heck were we? Oh my
We're
goodness.
talking about Zelda.
Zelda.
Wait,
Hold on, hold on, hold on.
major segue there.
So reverse, reverse, reverse. I wanted to just mention one more thing. So I started a story and then I got distracted by it because I was talking about the old model. So when I
Yeah,
started getting into VTubing and PNG tubing or whatever tubing, originally somebody on Twitter was just like doing the usual "oh god I hate my voice" thing, and had put a thing out there, how do we get over that? And one of the people I follow on Twitter, I will always remember this. I believe it's Cell the Cell something. He looks like Majora's Mask. Or they look like Majora's Mask. Like their
okay,
their their
okay.
model looks like the Majora's Mask. But they
All
said
right.
something to this person, and I will always remember it. They said, if you hate your voice, continue making content because the voice you hate will become iconic once you've used it enough.
Yeah, you just
And
gotta get
I
used
said,
to your voice. I mean,
holy cow.
as
So
right,
that is some deep
as a
stuff.
person who did voice acting, as a person who did voice acting, I worked with some big name voice actors. I
Hmm.
like people you would know. Like I worked with some of the voice actors from Naruto and
Yeah.
Persona. I worked with them, and like I said, and that's the thing. You just have to get used to your voice. And the most thing about voice acting is the acting part, not so much the voice. If you can act,
Mm-hmm.
you're more than halfway there. Acting
True,
is the most
true.
important part.
And so one of the YouTubers I watch regularly. Have you ever heard of Fact Fiend?
No, I'm not. But hey, link me to him. After the show, I'll definitely check him out.
Yeah. So the only reason I bring him up, and we'll move on with the tier list after this, but was just because he did a video on, and this is the only reason I know this fun fact. Fry from Futurama's voice actor made himself indispensable by not changing his voice for the voice of Fry. So they,
Right, and that's genius.
yeah,
I
so
mean,
they
that's the way
couldn't
you
get
gotta
rid
do
of
it.
him because that was just his voice, and nobody could emulate it. So anyways, enough about voice acting. All right, so we got Mario, we got
Okay.
Zelda. Um, let's see here. Let's go. Oh, my Smash Brothers main. Okay, people are gonna hate me for this one. You ready? Boom. I main Kirby in
Kirby!
Smash Brothers.
Kirby's great. Who doesn't
I,
like Kirby?
I love me some Kirby. I will confess I haven't played a lot of the more recent Kirby games, but I do still love me some Kirby, especially in Smash Brothers. So where does my boy Kirby go on our list?
probably just below Mario. I mean, my only issue with Kirby is the games are really, really, really short and really, really, really easy, and that's
Hmm.
the only problem I have with it because you can beat it in a day, and paying $60 for a game that you can beat in a day, like Kirby's got the Mario hat on, I love it.
Yeah, I was trying to line it up. It didn't quite work, but it ain't good enough. All right, so
My that's my issue with Kirby's. It's too easy. It's just they're great games. Love the games. It's just you know,
yeah, you don't want to
well the
spend
64 one. That's probably my favorite one.
yes, if you spend the same amount of money on a game you can spend 100 hours on, you spend the same amount of money on the game you can play 20 hours with. What one are you getting more value out of? It's pretty fair economics, really.
Exactly.
So
Right. And I know Kirby is Sakurai's baby, the creator of Smash Brothers and
mhm,
Kirby,
mhm.
and he came up with Kirby when he was 15 years old, and I'm like, what?
Well,
You did that at age 15?
my understanding was
Am I wrong
Kirby.
or?
I don't know about the age thing, but the only thing I know about it is apparently Kirby was supposed to be like a placeholder, but Sakurai came so fond of the character itself that it was like, yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna leave it. I like Kirby, and Kirby stayed Kirby.
Yeah, in his design notes, it said Kirby is shaped like a friend. And if you do any character design, yeah, you actually use round shapes to make a friend. And since all he is a round shape, yeah, I'd say he's shaped like a friend,
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I would
definitely
if
friend
you look at
shaped.
those squishmallows. I mean, I'm sure you see them at the stores. Those the softest stuffed
Yep, yep.
animals that everybody has a billion of.
Yeah,
They look like Kirby.
I only have seen Squishmallows in stores. I definitely don't have any in my home.
I
Anyway,
I'm pressing X to doubt.
truth. My wife has a lot of Squishmallows. That's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, that's the story. My wife has a lot of Squishmallows. That's believable, right?
Adorable. Yeah, I mean, I have a bunch of like stuffed animals all over my room because I just uh love stuffed animals. I have my favorite one's a giant Wobbuffet.
That's great. Um, you know what? It's simple things that bring joy in life, and if it's just a stuffed animal, then it's just a stuffed animal. It's not
Oh
like
yeah.
I'm out snorting crack, you know. But
I mean, if you're snorting crack off of a squishmallow, I don't know
nah,
if life gets any better. I don't do drugs. Don't do
jeez.
drugs. Drugs are bad.
We here at Broadcast from Outer Space would like to remind you that drugs are bad. Don't do drugs, or
Right.
don't
I,
do drugs. Don't sniff squishmallows.
exactly. I mean, I don't know.
Moving on.
I'm gonna have
Uh,
to reel myself in. I'm gonna have to reel myself in before I start saying weird stuff.
yeah, keeping it as clean as we can, and all considered. And so actually, just this morning, fun fact. Before we move on from Squishmallows, I bought my wife a. I saw it and I immediately knew I had to buy it for her. It was a Pugamelon. It was a watermelon squishmallow, but it had a pug face on it, and I don't know
That's
why.
adorable.
It was in its name. Its canon name was Prince. So if you do Prince Squishmallow, you'll find what I'm talking about. In fact, you know what? Hold on, I can do that.
This,
I'm in the driver's seat here.
I am I'm like the biggest Prince fan ever. Purple Rain, greatest album.
Different.
Can't change my mind.
Okay, so here.
Different Prince, I know, but still.
Save image. Prince. All right, hold on. So I'm gonna show you. I got rid of the keychain version of this. So. Uh,
Okay, okay.
bum, bum, bum.
Wait, they make keychain squishmallows?
You sure do.
Yeah, they would.
Boom.
Oh, it's
Pugamelon.
adorable! It's
I
so
saw this and I said,
adorable.
yes, this is what I'm going to buy my wife today. So she,
I am going to die again of cuteness.
so you're double dead now. You got you,
Double
you're,
dead.
you're third degree black belt dead. So yes, this is Prince Pugamelon is what I finally dubbed him. And when I gave him to my wife this morning,
Love it.
and my favorite part of the transaction, right, was I saw Prince and I was like, yes, Absolutely. I'm here to buy my wife energy drinks, but I see Prince. I want Prince. I'm going to get Prince for the wife too. Um, so I pick up my wife drinks so many energy drinks. By the way, I picked up a half dozen of them this morning for her.
I'm gonna try to start drinking it. I found one called Unicorn, and I like just want to know what a unicorn tastes like. So I'm going to buy unicorn energy drinks. I just want to know what a unicorn tastes like.
Yeah, you're gonna need to write me a report on that one because my understanding is that if you drink that, you live a half life, a cursed life, and you have some old dude growing on the back of your head. So you'll have to let me know how that goes. Um, no Harry Potter jokes.
What? I changed it. I regret so much.
Harry Potter jokes. Anyway, so my favorite part of the transaction with Prince here was that I picked him up and I had my armful of Monster Energy drinks and I'm going to the counter. And the thing that the lady at the counter questions is not the half dozen Monster Energy drinks I plop down on but it's the little keychain of Prince Pugamelon. And she looks at it and looks up at me, looks at the thing, and goes, do you want me to tell you how much those cost before you buy it? I go, the energy drinks? No, no, that thing. I go, I can tell you how much it costs. It costs way more than it's worth, but bring it up. And she's like, okay.
I had the same thing. I had the same thing happen to me when I was at a store because I have an amiibo addiction. I have every
Yep.
amiibo that's ever came out,
Oh,
and
geez.
so I like I ended up going to like I think it was Target, and I just have a bunch of like DVDs, and then I also got a I think it was a Bulbasaur
Oh.
amiibo, and the person's like, um, are you sure you want this? It's not worth the price you're paying. I'm like, I know what it is.
I
You
know
cannot
what
take my
I
treasure from
am.
me. This is the right. It's just this is the precious. You can't take my precious away.
Precious
I might have
Bulbasaur.
pissed. I don't know. I mean,
But
yeah.
so
I mean, the Bulbasaur. I think the Bulbasaur amiibo was pretty rare at the time too. So when
I've never seen
when
one.
you actually hunt the amiibos, yeah. If you when you hunt the amiibos, when you find a rare one, you jump on it because you will
Right,
never ever get the chance again to get it.
right,
Just
yeah.
that's just how it is.
I'm not much of a hunter of amiibos, mostly because I only got so much space. The nice thing about the Squishmallows is I could make the excuse I'm buying them to be throw pillows on the couch.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Somebody bought
and
that, right?
since they're squishy, you can like push them together and like squish them into small things because they're squishy. Just squish them into
Yes,
small areas.
exactly.
You know,
And
they fit nicely in boxes.
and this is gonna hurt somebody's soul that likes Squishmallows, but my dog Odin, he has a Squishmallow bed. He sleeps on a Squishmallow.
That
And
must be the comfiest bed in the
he
universe.
loves it. We call it the Doog Frug because he's a Doog that sleeps on a Frug. Yeah, so he's
I love that.
and one of our because we didn't know that they had names. We just were like, oh, these feel really squishy. I like them. So we started buying the ones that we really liked and whatever. So we weren't like collecting them per se, but we're like, ooh, soft squishy. It's kind of like being like, ooh, I bought this because it's shiny. Like very very simple like
Right,
animal instinct kind of reasons, right? There's no deeper meaning in my reasoning for buying a Squishmallow than I like this thing. Period. Full stop. But so it turns out they each have a name, and I didn't know that. And one of our friends, who apparently is really big into Squishmallows, is like, "Is that a Wendy Frog?" I'm like, "That's the Doog Frug." She's like, "The what now?" "The Doog
you
Frug. My
you gotta
Doog
get like
sleeps on it."
one of like a super rare. You can't get any more
She
Squishmallow,
she
and it does.
said she said she said,
I love this.
"Lady Random, welcome to Otter Space, the part of your brain that can't remember why you came into the room. How are you today? Thanks for stopping by." Lady
Hi, Lady
Random is here.
Random.
Hello, we're just discussing the finer points of Squishmallows. Um, but yeah, no. So apparently the Doog Frug's name is Wendy the Frog, which is ironic because there's several people in my immediate family that are also named Wendy. So that was like, oh, well, great. But yeah, Wendy the Frog is apparently
I ate at Wendy.
hmm?
I mean, I ate at Wendy's before.
Oh, I like Wendy's. Yeah.
That's about all I got. Yep.
I'm okay, not feeling great, trying to fix my stupid PC. Oh, that's a mood, darling. That's a mood. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're not feeling great, but yeah, I'm doing okay. And oh dear God, Gabriella, you're dead.
I'm dead.
Ah!
Oh no! Wait,
I
I
got.
was scared there for a minute, but then I realized that's my normal state.
That's the spirit. Yeah, we're doing okay, lady. I'm just a little stupid today. Don't mind me. I played Pokemon for way too long last night. Fell asleep on the chair. And so the bean is like she will put me right to sleep because she fell asleep and once you got a baby otter sleeping on your chest, you're like, well, obviously I can't move. So I holding the controller with my arms around the bean, playing the Pokemons until my eyes hurt, and I'm like, I should probably go to bed. And so I just close and rest my eyes for a minute and rest the controller on the bean's head, and okay, and then it's 3 in the morning.
Yep.
So
I think we all been there. It was just you get into a gaming session, and I know once I start Pokemon, I'm not gonna put it down until I got all the badges.
it is
I
there's
just
there's a I don't want to go too into it because I don't want to give anybody spoilers, but it's a very good so far. I'm enjoying it a lot, and yeah, so I
better than
definitely.
Sword and Shield.
Mm, yeah, I think at least initial feelings on it are better than they were for Sword and Shield. Not to say I didn't like Sword and Shield, but right now, like if I were to say this far into Scarlet versus this far into Shield, I like Scarlet more. So
Okay.
that's my
Yeah,
very
I'm so excited for it.
it's my very PC answer for you. Um, all right, let me get rid of Prince here, because ostensibly we're doing a tier list. All right.
I mean, you can put him on a tier list. He could be sponsored by Nintendo. We don't know.
Prince, brought to you by Nintendo. What, what's that? What's that? My lawyers have informed me I am now poor because Nintendo owns me. Uh, wouldn't be the first time, wouldn't be the last time. Um, let's
Don't
see
own
here.
your Nintendo products; they own you.
This is true. Do you own your possessions or you do your possessions own you? I don't know what that accent is either.
I
I
think
got
it's like supposed to be like Chinese because
I
like
think I might have been.
Confucius maybe.
Yeah, I think I was aiming for Confucius, but I hit probably terrible and offensive, and I apologize. Hashtag cancel Otter. Um, moving on. Enough about us. So let's see here. So we got Mario, we got Kirby, we got Star Fox. Let's see what's next. You know
You
what?
got Star Fox.
We
That's
sure
Zelda.
do.
Oh, Starmio.
Flawless
There's Star Fox.
segue. Pew 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 pew.
Oh no!
Doorbell.
Look at that.
Yeah. So Star Fox. Oh God, what am I doing with my
I
life?
you're playing with the spaceship. I mean,
Pew
who
pew.
hasn't played with the spaceships? Don't crash into the coffee. I mean it'd be very bad you spilled your coffee. Oh
Oh, right. The
no!
coffee's actually on my set. It's not on my OBS. I'm sitting here trying to move the coffee separately, and it's not going. It's like, oh, well, there goes the whole set. Earthquake.
All these lasers must have got the
I'm just gonna put my head down for a minute. All right. So where does Star Fox go?
So I'm gonna be real. I don't like Star Fox. Star Fox is boring to me. Tried. I tried to like Star Fox. I mean, my brothers were really into Star Fox. They like really got into Star Fox 64. Just couldn't get into it. I played the Super Nintendo one. I'm like, what am I doing? Better version of Star Fox, the Cowboy Bebop game. Just
Ooh,
gonna say that. PlayStation Cowboy Bebop game is the better Star Fox in my
interesting.
opinion, but I,
All
I
right.
don't
So
really like
so
spaceship
so so
fighters.
low end of the line. This close to Boo or higher?
Yeah,
Or...
I mean, I don't. Like I said, I don't hate the franchise. It's just one that I couldn't get into myself. So I'm kind of like, eh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
Okay, middle of the
uh,
bottom. That's fair. Um,
What are your opinions on Star Fox?
so I've played a grand total of 2 Star Fox games, right? I've played Star
Okay.
Fox 64 just like everybody and their brother, because everybody's
Hmm.
played Star Fox 64, whether you loved it or hated it, you played it, you
Oh
know.
yeah.
And then the other
Yeah.
one was what some people will say killed Star Fox, which I don't think killed Star Fox, but it definitely didn't help. What was it? Star Fox Adventures.
Oh, that wasn't even a Star Fox game. It was more like a Zelda game
Yeah,
with Star Fox in it. Yeah.
It was a Zelda game for furries. Um, and
Yeah. Yeah.
no offense to any furries in the audience, I'm just saying that's basically what it was. Like it was Zelda, but you were playing an anthropomorphic animal. Period. Um, so it wasn't bad. I did play it all the way through, which I can't say for a
I
lot of
will
other
say
games.
I liked that Star Fox game. I did like that one.
Yeah,
So
it wasn't
there you go.
awful. It had its flaws. Do not get me wrong.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it definitely was not like if you were picking it up as a fan of Star Fox, the series, the games, and you're like, I'm gonna play the new Star Fox games, you would have been like, what is this is this is not what I signed up for. But at the same
Right,
time,
and it's like I don't know, like picking up like what was it that Metroid one that Forces or whatever, and it's like this isn't Metroid, or picking up like I forgot the other ones that they did that Donkey Konga, expecting to be Donkey Kong Country, just
yeah, yeah.
why does Nintendo do this? So
Why am I playing the drums to play Star Fox?
right,
Coming to a store near you, Star Fox, the drums of war.
Star, Star Fox Kart, I'd play it.
Huh. You know, there's a trick. I
Like
don't know why we've never seen a Star Fox. Have we seen a Star Fox racing game?
we haven't. We've seen a
Huh.
Kirby racing game. We haven't seen a Star Fox racing game, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
why
yeah.
not? That
Super,
might be fun.
yeah, Superstar Racers. Yeah. So Star Fox. What I remember most about Star Fox 64 is not the main game, which I played a beat, whatever. It was
Mhm.
one of those old rites of passage, blah blah. But I remember the multiplayer mode where you were just flying around, bastardizing each other on this weird polygonal field, blowing each other to smithereens, and that's
See, this is why I didn't like the game because I was really bad at it. I died a lot, and I was like, I can't enjoy this game because I keep losing.
yeah, yeah. Well, luckily for me, I was the older kid in the family. So I got to be the one that played with the first player controller, and didn't have to have the Mad Cats one and all that. Um,
That makes me even more depressed because I'm the oldest in my family, and I got to
oh,
play with the good controller, and I still lost.
well, rip again, I guess. You're now third
Yeah,
degree dead.
I'm dying more and more. I'm
What's
not
the
a cat.
belt?
I don't have nine
What's the belt
lives.
system for being dead? So you were white belt dead. Now then you went to yellow belt dead. Now you're what is it? Red belt dead now? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know
Yeah,
karate.
I don't know. My best friend's a Taekwondo instructor. I should know these things, but I don't. Anyway, so Star Fox, blah blah blah. You know what I liked most about the Star Fox adventure game, though? You're never gonna
Hmm.
guess. The Triceratops.
Uh, there was a Triceratops?
There
I
was a
didn't know
Triceratops. He
that.
was like your traveling companion, Tricky the Triceratops. I liked Tricky the Triceratops, and I cannot give you a good answer as to why, mostly because I don't remember. Um, but I loved Tricky the Triceratops, and I'll tell you a
Why
fun.
am I not remembering that? Well,
Yeah,
I don't know. It's been a long time since I played it.
yeah, weird. Usually you gotta try to remember more.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
I might dig out my GameCube and or whatever it's for,
Yep.
just so I can see Triceratops.
Yeah. So Tricky the Triceratops was like your companion critter. Less annoying than Navi. No, didn't do the whole hey listen. Wasn't great. But like you'd send him through little holes and stuff, and he'd go and find other like treasures and stuff and blah blah blah. And I remember around that time. So I didn't play a lot of D&D, but I liked the D&D books, right? So
I
my
get books,
uncle,
nice hard covers.
yeah, my uncle played D&D, and I always would steal his monster manual and look through it. And you're probably saying, how did we get from Star Fox to D&D? Well, I'll tell you how. Because I was convinced that I was going to make the next best thing for D&D, and I basically made D&D Pokemon Edition, except it was all
Love it.
yeah. So I made my own tabletop role playing game, using the monster
Oh,
manual as my base, and you basically were catching and taming the monsters from D&D like Pokemon.
that's
Uh,
awesome.
and,
I
and
did something similar when I was in high school. I made a pencil paper RPG based off Mega Man.
Oh, yeah, yeah, very, very similar
Yeah,
in
it's fun.
concept. And the reason that links back is because the first monster I had in it was a Triceratops, and I named it Tricky. So that. There's your full circle story right there. Uh,
I mean, it's still cool. It's very creative. I mean, I think it's awesome when people take like the D&D stuff and put their own spin. I think that's awesome. I had a friend who did one for Zoids, and I also had a friend who did one
Zoids.
for yeah, well, he made his own system. He actually made his own system where it's all D20s to do damage, and it was actually a pretty good system. But because he didn't own the right to Zoids, you couldn't make money off it.
Yeah,
But
of
it was a
course, of
really
course.
fun. It was a very fun game we played that he made. So
I am
it was
still
a fun
to
time.
I am still to this day waiting for the true like the second coming of the good Zoids game. Um, there was one Zoids video game that I played, and by odd, I cannot remember the name of it, but it was basically Armored Core, but with Zoids. Um,
It sounds fun.
it was magnificent. It wasn't perfect. There were definitely some flaws, but insofar as games that I liked, I played a lot. It was on the GameCube. I can remember that much. Um,
Hmm.
It was a Zoids game, and you could do some basic customization, paint job for your Zoid, and you do all the parts and blah blah blah. You couldn't like hyper customize it. They were all pretty cookie cutter kind of things, but if you had the sniper rifle Raptor thing, you could either have it with the sniper rifle setup, or you could make it a more mobile kind of thing. Blah 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 blah. I loved that game. Oh, I'm still waiting for the second coming of that franchise.
Hey, maybe we'll get lucky and the Nintendo Switch like stuff will do GameCube games at one
Hmm.
point for their
Hmm.
like that'd be cool if they added that to it. I mean, I'm still waiting on Mischief Makers for the 64.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
Mischief
who
Makers.
knows? They might do a GameCube thing. You ever
I'm
play
not.
Mischief Makers?
No, I'm not familiar.
It is the greatest 64 game to ever exist, and almost nobody has played it.
Can you just give me the
That's
quick
all
and
I can
dirty
say.
on it?
So you're playing as like this rabbit girl, and you walk around and you shake villagers to get their diamonds from them, and
Well,
you
as you
just
do.
it's like yeah, it is a platformer where you got like a rocket pack, and you just jump from like balls and shake them and get
Oh, okay.
diamonds, and you throw like other monsters at monsters, and the whole
Oh,
objective is
okay.
to grab things and shake the hell out
So
of them.
so so
So
the
I
the
mean
the
that's
the croc kind of thing, croc, Gex, like that whole school.
well, it's a 2D platformer, so it's more
Oh,
like a Knights kinda ish.
oh,
But
okay.
yeah, you gotta grab things and you shake the hell out of them. It was one of Square Enix's games for 64,
Really?
and it was a phenomenal. If you can
Huh.
find it, I strongly suggest it. And if you can't
Mischief
find it,
makers.
I don't condone pirating, but I'm saying you have to find it somehow. That's what I'm saying.
Uh, we at Broadcast from Outer Space do not condone pirating. The views expressed in this interview do not necessarily reflect the views of the staff of Broadcast from Outer Space. Uh, anyway, Mischief Makers. I'll remember that. I'll have to look, and that's pretty easy to remember. One of my favorite
Okay.
games that just doesn't. I don't think it's ever gonna make a comeback, but I wish it would. You ever heard of Dokapon Kingdom?
Look upon Kingdom. Is that the thing where you push things and other things? I think it was. I don't
No.
know. I might have played. One of my brothers might have played it. I don't.
It's
I'm familiar with
basically
the name.
for the most basic explanation I can give of it is a long-term game of Mario Party where everything is based off of rock paper scissors basically. Um,
Huh?
because you won't be able to play a
What, what,
whole.
what-
Hmm?
what's that for? Is it,
Uh, it
console is that
was
for?
it was both on PS2, I believe, and the Wii. Because the version that I have, and it's one of those rare games now that you cannot find.
Oh, Ooh,
Like,
I'll try to find it.
you know what? Just for funsies, I'm gonna pull up just gonna pull up eBay on my other monitor. And so Dokapon Kingdom, because we got lucky stumbling upon a copy of it. Uh,
I still have my Wii U, so I could play it on the Wii version. I'm sure.
okay, so there's the first one that comes up is just like a whole pile of games that somebody's selling. They probably don't know what they got. But then the second one is PlayStation 2 Dokapon Kingdom, $120. Um,
Wow. Mm.
and
I
then
might not be able to get that one.
and then after that, like the cheapest one I'm currently seeing is the Wii version for $60.26. And this is
That might be doable, I guess.
a very and then back down to $225. Yeah, it's a game that it like nobody that has heard of nobody's heard of it basically. And I don't even know how.
I totally get that.
Lady says her computer restarted. Yay, congratulations.
Oh, I'm
Uh
glad to hear that.
yeah, so Dokapon Kingdom, like I don't even know where my best friend came across it, but he had the PS2 version before the incident. Um,
The
and
incident?
the long story short is all of his video games went bye bye. Um,
Oh, okay.
uh,
I won't pry anymore than that.
and the unfortunate part of that, other than it being sad for him, was also he was borrowing a bunch of my video games at the time too. So a lot of my video games
Ooh.
went bye bye. So Otter wasn't happy that day.
No,
Otter
I'd imagine you wouldn't be.
Otter speaks in the third person when he's not happy. But so we happened just one day we were just moseying along in a mall we hadn't been to before, and la 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 la. La. It was after the incident, and we were like, oh, there's a game store. Let's go check out the game store. And la 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 la. And we found a Wii copy of Dokapon Kingdom in the used bins pile, and we got it for like $20. And
Nice.
we were like, they have no I'm not gonna tell
I love
them.
it. I love it when that happens. I do. I love it when that happens.
So we jealously guard that copy of Dokapon Kingdom now. But
You got to.
I wish it was available on Steam or something. Because if I could get a couple of people to come back like once a week to play Dokapon Kingdom on stream with me, that would be magnificent. But it's just not out for any system that I can really hook up to a capture card, you know?
No,
Uh,
I get that, and it's hard to hook up older
yeah.
consoles to the couch. I
Like,
managed to get I got a Retron which has a Super Nintendo, Sega NES. Managed to get that hooked up to my capture card, but
yeah.
that's about it for older stuff. I
Yeah,
don't know if you can do it for
like I'd be able to hook up the Wii to the capture card, but you can't. You can play online on the Wii, but like Dokapon Kingdom did not have online functionality.
of course.
And since nobody else would have it, I'd never be like even if like so it's one of those games that I would love to see brought back as like an online multiplayer game because you have to play it in multiple sessions because it's a whole kingdom worth of things. You're capturing towns, you're collecting taxes off those towns, you're buying new weapons, you're leveling up.
This
It
sounds
it
great.
is an epic adventure, and you spend the entire time bastardizing your friends because you go to the towns, you mug their mares because they have more money than you do, and then you spend the rest of your life running away from them. And if you can classes, your character had a class, and you could level up those classes. Like the first the start wizard, like the basic mage warrior thief combination, right? And then
Mhm.
they would branch off into like a thief mixed with a warrior would become a ninja or something like that. Blah 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 blah. But it was way more complex and like interesting than it had any right to be. Um, and Dokapon Kingdom needs to come back at some point. Google that. Just look it up. I'm gonna stop babbling about it, but it's one of those things that I'd
Yeah,
love to see.
I'll definitely look it up, and if I can find a copy, so much the better.
Yeah, yeah, and just I think even the box of it says get comfortable with your soon to be former friends or something like that. Like it says it right on the package.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I love it when games are like that.
So I'm rambling. Okay, so next up, we're gonna go. We're gonna keep going on our little tier list here. Some another OG. My hat's getting a little no, wrong button. So hat's making my head sweat a little bit. So
Ooh, your hat's on. Oh, oh no! Oh no! It's got you!
so what do you think about Metroid?
I love Metroid. Metroid is one of my favorite game franchises of all time. I mean, I love the idea that it's one of the first. It is like the first Metroidvania with the one giant map you can explore, and it's just such a the story is good. Samus is just such a awesome character. She's absolutely great. I actually have the original manual that came with the original game. I have the original game in box for Metroid. I have the special edition 3DS Metroid, and I got a lot of Metroid merchandise because Metroid is so underrated, and they need to keep making Metroid games. When will we get Metroid Prime 4? Damn it! I want it. I want it now.
So where we I played Metroid Prime. I really liked Metroid Prime. It was I'm not big on first person shooters, but I did like Prime. I didn't play any like the two or threes though. I will say. Where are we putting our little?
Metroid Prime is less of above Mario, definitely near the top.
Oh wow, okay, there you go, Metroid there.
Really like Metroid.
Uh, you'll
Um,
notice the
yeah,
Metroid or unlatched from my head. It got hungry. It ran out of food. So like
I,
the brain slugs from Futurama. Poor thing starved to death.
yeah. I mean, I think they feed off energy or something. I don't really remember how it is in the story. I'm sure somebody will say something about it. But yeah,
Yeah, well.
yeah. Metroid is definitely a fun game. And the thing is with Metroid Prime, it's less of a first-person shooter and more of a first-person platformer, but with
This is true.
guns.
This
It,
is
it,
true. You're
it
right.
doesn't feel like a first person shooter to me, and I loved all of them. They're just all great games. With the exception of Other M, now Other M isn't bad,
Hmm.
but it's just compared to the other Metroid games, it just doesn't hold up. And also Federation Force, that's not a
Now,
Metroid game.
Federation Force. I heard that
Federation Force.
was. Isn't that the one with like the four robots or something?
Yeah, Samus makes a guest appearance. I'm like, you're gonna have a Metroid without Samus as the main character? Okay, that's very brave and not smart of you. And then you got like these four characters in there. It's like, okay, so the idea of Metroid is that solitude, eerie feeling where you're by yourself. That's part of the charm of the game. Nope, not that. You got friends. Okay. So, what about this is like Metroid? Oh, right, the baseball mini game. You remember when you played baseball in Metroid? No, you don't, because it didn't happen.
Yeah, yeah.
Metroid, Metroid Prime Pinball was a more of a Metroid game than that game.
Uh, jeez. Yeah, I never actually played Federation Force, and it sounds like I didn't really miss much, so I'm okay with this.
You didn't miss anything. If you want like the good version of that, play Legend of Zelda
Four
Tri
Swords.
Warrior or something. It's like a Four Swords, and then the other one is called Try something. Those ones are the
Oh,
same game but
um,
better. So
try. Yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about. Didn't the Triforce Warriors or whatever end up being like a weird kind of dress up game, if I recall?
you had different color lights. I don't
Hmm.
remember if you had like dress up or not.
I don't remember exactly. I
Yeah,
bought it for my wife, and she was like, "This is terrible." Um,
I mean
anywho's
it's fun when you got people to play with, but if you don't, it's not that great.
Yeah, so I'm a solitary otter by nature for the most part. Um, except for the whole wife and kid thing. Alrighty. So speaking of games where you're crashed on a planet and doomed to live off the land if you're try to live off the land, we're gonna talk about another game about solitude and dealing with the forces of an alien planet, and we're talking about Pikmin.
Pikmin? Okay, I've never played a Pikmin game. So I can't, I don't have an opinion on Pikmin. Now, I know someone who eats, sleeps, and breathes Pikmin, and all they do is they're really love Pikmin, but I have never played a Pikmin game. I can't make an opinion on it. So you put Pikmin where you want to put Pikmin because I never played it. I know Olimar is cool in Smash Brothers. That's about it. Sorry,
Uh,
I'm a failure as a Nintendo fan.
no, no. You just have a lot of homework to do after this show's over. Um, Pikmin 1 and 2, by the end of the week. Okay, done.
I still haven't finished my other homework of having homemade waffles.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you need to have homemade waffle. Go to a Waffle House or something. Waffle waffle. So for anybody that has no idea what I'm talking about, apparently I'm the one that had to remind Gabriella or inform Gabriella that waffles are not only made in a toaster. Waffles can be created
Yeah,
from scratch.
yeah, I didn't know what a waffle iron was until you taught me.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should go make waffles because that will turn you off from waffles. Having to make waffles is the worst part of
I
waffles.
will, if I try to make waffles, I'd burn my house down.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Don't try to make them. Just go to a Waffle House, an IHOP, whatever your poison happens to be. Get you some waffles, hon. Get you some waffles. I don't know why I was suddenly. I don't even. I have no idea what that voice was. It wasn't even an accent. What the? Hon, get you some waffles. Yo,
it's fine. It's fine.
yo, buddy, get you some waffles. Uh, so I'm gonna leave Pikmin right about here. I'm gonna take it off the line because the line is your territory. But if I were to put Pikmin somewhere, it'd be there with like an asterisk next to Mario. Um, I don't have as strong feelings about Metroid as you do. I like the games well enough, but I would I'd put it pretty high. Pikmin 3 was not great. Pikmin 1 and 2 were fantastic though, and it could be the
And
mild.
those are for the GameCube.
Yes. Pikmin 3, I believe was.
Can you get them on this? Can you get them on the Switch?
Hmm.
Possibly. Yes. No. I don't know. I'll see if I can
Uh,
find them on the Switch.
I don't. I think you can get Pikmin 3 on the Switch, which is unfortunate. There's some rumblings of Pikmin 1 and 2 being released on the Switch. I'm hoping so, because those were the good ones. Pikmin 3, it wasn't awful, but it wasn't great. It was just one of those things where it's like they're trying to. So Pikmin 1, one pilot, one character, Olimar with the Pikmin, simple enough, right? Pikmin 2, switching back and forth
Hmm.
between the two pilots, okay, fine, no problem, whatever. It adds a little bit of quirk. But then Pikmin 3, they just said, well, let's just keep going with that process of thought and add three pilots. It's like, all right, now you're gone too much. Having to jump between three different pilots to order around the same bunch of Pikmin, it just doesn't. In my opinion, it did not work. I'm
Yeah, it sounds like it would be confusing,
Yeah, exactly.
actually.
Like I could keep it together with two pilots, but three pilots, and the two pilots. Don't get me wrong, it was less of a problem because mostly, if I remember, what was the second pilot? It's Olimar, and it was some joke on Luigi because Olimar's name is based off of Mario, obviously. Um, like,
I don't remember. I know. I think there's one named Elfree or something like that. Or I don't know.
yeah.
He's in Smash Brothers. There's another one in Smash Brothers that you can switch into. So
Yeah, I don't remember. It was some pun on Luigi's name. That's all I remember. But he mostly just hung
okay.
out with Olimar, as I recall. He wasn't so much of a problem. But with the three pilots being interchanged, it was just too complicated. I hope they learned that lesson because there is whispers on the wind of Pikmin 4 being in production. So I'm hopeful for
Yeah,
that.
I've heard a lot about that from people. Pikmin 4, and when it comes out, I might pick it up because Nintendo likes to bombard me with their commercials. I only see advertisement for Nintendo for some reason. I don't know why that is, but it is. So,
And the mysteries of the advertising space are beyond my utter
oh yeah.
comprehension. Um, but yeah, so if you get the chance to try Pikmin 1 and 2, I recommend it. Um, and they made a
Okay.
Pikmin Go, like a Pokemon Go, but for Pikmin. I'm not sure if I think that was a good idea. I never tried it, but hmm. Anywho,
I mean, I kind of feel that like Nintendo is trying to sell you something. You got Pokemon Go and Mario Run. I'm like, are they trying to tell us that we can't escape Nintendo? Is that what you're
Yeah,
telling us?
it's
What
Pokemon
is
Go,
this?
Mario Run, Pikmin hide under the cabinet, Zelda get out while you still can.
Right, Nintendo, they're already in your house.
Kirby, there is no escape. You know, Star Fox, it's too late for me. uh, Anywho, all right. You know what? So while we're talking about Nintendo things, let's go ahead and we touched on Pokemon Go, so let's go ahead and talk about Pokemon for our timeline. Where are we putting it?
Is very, very high up for me. It might be just below Metroid for
Hmm.
me. But here's the thing: I haven't whenever a Pokemon comes out though, I'm extremely excited, and always want to jump into it. I usually finish the game within a week because I can't put the dang thing down. And I had a little bit of a spending habit with Pokemon where I'm a dirty cheater, so I would buy hacked versions of the game on
Uh oh,
eBay that have all the shinies
Rob.
send them to me because I'm that person.
Well,
I had a coworker who told me that I should never play video games again because I won't do the work. I'm like, I'm a businesswoman. I don't got time to do the work.
well, we won't get it too far into the topic of what we classify as cheating in the video game space. But yeah, so I mean, Pokemon is Pokemon is Pokemon. Like you like it, you love it, you hate it, you like it, whatever. So
Yeah, I love
best,
Pokemon. We can talk about Pokemon all day. I actually love Pokemon. It is a phenomenal series, and I know you're really big on the Pokemon too.
yes, I do. In fact, one of
Oh,
my for anybody that hasn't already been bombarded by my do you want to be a guest thing for Beefos here? One of the lines is, "Do you know about Pokemon? Am I allowed to talk about it?" Um, but right now I'm trying to contain the Pokemon things because the part of my Pokemon brain is like really wrapped up in Scarlet and Violet, and I don't want to be that guy that ruins it for anybody. And so I was like, oh hey, this thing happened, and this is fantastic. Like there's a part of the new game that I really want to go on about, but it was one of those moments that it's good, it's good. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, give it a month or so, and
Yeah,
everybody's beaten it,
exactly,
and then you can start talking about what's going on with
exactly.
it.
It
I
came
mean,
out
I haven't.
yesterday.
I picked it up. Right, I picked it up yesterday, and I still haven't had a chance to play it honestly because, well, I've just been too busy. I mean, it just
Yeah, absolutely. I get
I'll
you.
get to it. I will definitely.
But I'm just saying, so far I am enjoying it, and that's as much as I'm going to say on the topic. But the reason I'm not going too much into the Pokemon talk today is because I don't want to slip up and be like, by the way, so when this happened in this part of the new game, and somebody's like, oh, and I'm like, well, that's it.
Yeah,
Someone's making an otter skin
I
hat.
mean, my answer to everything for Pokemon is always Wobbuffet. I
That's
mean,
fair.
I haven't
That's fair.
found a problem that Wobbuffet couldn't solve.
Waba, waba.
Well, over the anime, it's like in the anime for Pokemon, Wobbuffet will just. It's in the worst possible situation is when he's gonna come out and like he'd be at a wedding when people are objecting, he just come out there screaming Wobbuffet. Time to do your taxes, Wobbuffet. Funeral, someone's about to give a eulogy,
So
Wobbuffet.
Wobbuffet is the
Okay,
Kool-Aid
yeah,
man of the Pokemon universe.
right, exactly, and that's what I love
Crash!
about him.
Oh
And that's what made me
yeah!
fall. That's what made me Yeah, that's what made me fall in love with him because my first experience with Pokemon was the anime, not the game. I mean,
Mm.
my first experience with the game was actually the Game Boy Advance ones, and I didn't start Pokemon when I was a kid. I started Pokemon when I was an adult
Ah,
because
yep.
I don't know. So, while if it was already out there, I'm like, I'm gonna try this Pokemon, and then it turned out to be the most broken Pokemon in the game. I'm like, my favorite Pokemon's best one. Yes.
So I've
I
been
don't know.
playing. So I don't know why this particular part popped in my head. I'm old. I'm an old otter. I've been playing Pokemon games since the first one came out, and I remember the original Pokemon commercials. And have you seen the majesty of some of the original Pokemon game commercials?
I actually have not. I
Oh
don't
my
think I
goodness.
have.
There's
Is it
got to be.
possible for you to play
That's
one
what I'm
or?
wondering right now. Hold on. Let me see if I can. I don't know how much trouble I'm gonna get if I try and play a YouTube video on stream, but I've got to. Old Pokemon.
I mean, it's advertisement. It's advertisement for Nintendo.
So
We're helping them sell products,
right. Well, so
right?
so
I mean,
okay. So okay.
it's on YouTube.
So
I mean, it's pretty much the same, right?
let me see if I can do this. So add window capture. Uh oh, hello.
There we are. Okay,
Cool.
it's got
Okay,
going.
okay. Boop boop boop. All right. I'm gonna shrink this down, boost this up.
Okay,
Uh,
I'm on.
where'd you go? I don't know why that happened. Okay, hold on. Oh, I see. Oh, I get it. There we go.
There we go. I've returned.
Sorry about that. Um,
It's all
hello.
right.
All right, it's because I tried to full screen it. Um,
Hey, little buddy, want to ride? Yeah,
Uh,
whatever.
Okay, so you got Pikachu, and I can't hear it, but that's okay. I mean, I just don't think I need the audio.
Be right
Probably
back.
good that there's no audio to keep it safe. Pokemon on the bus.
Where can you catch a 150
this is what lives rent free in my head.
on your Game Boy? That's where.
What? They crushed Pikachu into a...
They
What's happening?
There you go. So
I'm horrified. I
that
am
is
horrified.
the commercial that lives rent free in my
Oh,
head. I have no idea how much I may or may not have just doxed.
wow.
So that I remember seeing that on TV, watching cartoons. I remember seeing that on TV, and trash compactor of Pokemon character, and just and that
Yeah,
was
that's
so that commercial lives rent
that's
free in my head,
horrifying.
right?
I am now terrified.
But I scared the ghost to death. So again, I have no idea how much trouble I may or may not be in for showing somebody else's YouTube video on my own stream. But you had to see, you had to be informed of the things I have
I was
seen.
I mean, you were there.
I was
You
there.
were.
I
No,
remember.
I'm an old head myself, so I was definitely born when Pokemon was. I was definitely alive when Pokemon was going out. Just back then, though, I was super into like Sailor Moon and stuff. So I didn't. I was like everything had to be Sailor Moon. So
I will confess to
you know,
some
that's
so
that's my childhood.
well, yeah. I mean, I feel like everybody that ends up being a VTuber had some experience with Sailor Moon at some point in their childhood. So
Oh yeah,
anybody
yeah.
watching this that disagrees with that, please prove me wrong. But I feel like not everybody's first anime is Sailor Moon, but it's definitely in the first section. You know what I mean?
I- If you have not seen Sailor Moon, I am coming to your house and we are going to watch all 200 episodes. I'm just saying.
Like like
Okay.
you could argue Sailor Moon or DBZ or both. But you want to know
Yeah, I watched both. I watched DBZ.
an early formative anime for me. And I know on your show we briefly discussed animes, but favorite
Hmm.
animes. But one of my early favorites, not my favorite of all time, but one of my early favorites when I was a kid. And I don't know how people are going to react to this one if anybody even watches this, but Ham Taro.
Hamtaro's
Ham
adorable.
Taro.
It is.
It's Hamtaro
Yeah,
time.
it's.
Uh, there's your clip for the day. But I loved Hamtaro, and I loved Hamtaro so much that I made. Did I tell you the story about the hamster?
You didn't. Well, but you
No.
might have. I don't
Okay.
remember.
Well,
My
so
memory's not great.
either I didn't tell you the story, or I'm about to tell you the story. Either way, the story's so I loved Hamtaro so much that I, as young Otter, decided I must have a hamster of my very own, and they will go on adventures with their hamster friends, ignoring the fact that I lived in the middle of nowhere, woods and 10 acres around me, and literally nothing or anybody around. Definitely no hamsters. So but I
So you
insist.
had a hamster.
I got a hamster, yes, and day one, the minute I bought this hamster, it was already a mistake because this hamster was Satan incarnate. Like this was the Death
Oh,
Lord
nice.
of hamsters. Um, she broke out of the first box they put her in the store. The guy didn't even get to hand her over to me. She broke out of that first box. Yeah, this
Wow.
little dervish of a hamster bust out of that first box that he put her in and escaped. He manages to catch her, and he has to put her in this like corrugated cardboard, double thick, like sealed box. And he's like, here, and honestly, a smarter otter would have been like, maybe I don't want this hamster. Maybe a different hamster, one that isn't possessed by Cthulhu.
This
But
this is the hamster that's got to have the adventure, though. You know that, right? This is the
well,
adventure.
and so I don't know if that's what I was thinking, but yeah, that's a fair point. This was not the hamster that was the hero. This is the hamster that would have showed up in like the second season episode of Hamtaro, killed 3 of Hamtaro's friends, and Hamtaro spent the next season hunting him down. Like this was that hamster.
Wait,
Uh,
what show are you talking about? I don't remember the season of
this is
Hamtaro.
Hamtaro Brotherhood. Uh, Hamtaro Super.
Last time I had Hamtaro D.
Hey, sunflowers! Give me your sunflowers!
Goodness.
Oh, we're going places, Gabrielle. We're going places. Uh, oh, so long story short, this hamster was evil incarnate. This hamster was the Frieza of hamsters. Um, Constantly breaking out of her. We had to reinforce her cage with metal, literal metal. Like a standard hamster cage was not enough to seal this beast. Which was a shame because I had this adorable like hamster habitat with the chutes and the ladders and the little hamster lookout tower. And like my grandparents were very good to me. They indulged the whim, and this hamster did not make it worth anybody's while because ultimately the only thing that could contain this beast was a full size like fish tank, like glass with metal, and we had to get a metal mesh to seal over the top so that it couldn't climb out. Because this hamster was it was like the John Wick of hamsters. You're already dead by the time this hamster gets out. This hamster was. I don't know where I'm going with.
You're like about to go to school. The hamster just crawls up on you. It's like, hey, give me your lunch money.
Pretty much, this hamster was that hamster. Like you putting your hand in bowls of water in the middle of the night. So and I feel like I'm overstating this a little bit, but let me just put it to you this way: I, Otter Hartwell Ottenberg, have a physical, genuine, real life scar from this hamster. On my
What?
living, breathing body, I have a true to
I was
life scar from this hamster.
I was joking about them about being bullied by a
No,
hamster, but
no, this,
damn.
no, I am looking at it like I don't have motion tracking on my hands, but in real life, I am looking at my finger and I have a scar that will always be a part of me because of this evil ass hamster. This hamster kicked my ass,
Oh,
and I always remember it because I was like, because apparently seeing it, go Super Saiyan and break out of the box in the pet store was not enough to warn me that this maybe wasn't a nice hamster. I went and I said, okay, I'm gonna put you in your little home now, hamster, right? So I reached my hand into the chomp. This hamster had
not
me.
today.
Not today, mofo. And I. And this hamster was not going to be deterred by anything I did. I am flailing my hands around, trying to shake this hamster off of me. And this devil beast hamster has a hold of me and is not letting go. And it didn't let go until I put my hand into the hamster and whack, whack, whack. Had to slam my hand down to get this hamster to release me from its evil maw. And that was the beginning of our relationship. Me and this hamster. Uh, so
hamster thought it was going to prison and heard find the biggest guy and take him down.
Yeah,
That's what this
I'm
hamster's
pretty
thinking.
sure you're right. I'm pretty sure this hamster thought is like, well, I'm not dropping the soap. That's for damn sure. So
Right?
she looked to take down the prison warden first day, and that was things just went downhill from there. Believe it or not, but that was when I got my hamster scar. Um, so and here's how I'm gonna end the story. I'm gonna tell you. Do you want to know what I named this hamster?
I am very curious on what you named the
I
hamster.
named this hamster Luna because it was a goddamn lunatic.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, I so I hear hamsters. I don't think alpha male beat up a lion animal.
No,
I don't.
no.
But after the day,
This thing, like it made, like I swear to you, it made the sonic sound when it rolled up. Like this thing was a spinning ball of
jeez.
death, and only and not to trigger warning for animal death here, but the only thing that could destroy it was herself. And
Oh my.
this hamster met its end at its own hands by running as fast as it could in its hamster wheel and trying to get out. And that's all I'm going to say on the matter. So the hamster, lunatic, the hamster, was darkness incarnate and was only able to be relieved from this world by taking itself out of it.
I mean, he sounds like a Sonic villain. We're gonna take the
Yeah,
hamster.
yeah, lunatic yeah. Eggman, please no. Don't reanimate the devil hamster. Uh, So yeah, needless to say, I never went and bought another hamster. That was enough for Otter. No more hamsters for me, thank you. Um, Anywho, well, we have gone places. We were talking about Pikmin,
Definitely.
and I don't know how we ended up on hamsters, but anime maybe. I don't know. Anyway, let's do a few more of our let's get through the thing. So that's just all right. A series that I only really found out about. I feel like a lot of people only find out about after Smash Brothers came out. Fire Emblem. Now I'm not saying everybody. I'm just saying like a good portion of people probably found out about Fire Emblem through Smash Brothers.
My brother is a super fan of Fire Emblem. Everything is Fire Emblem with him, so I played the games because he was really into it, and I really liked Fates, and I really liked I mean, apparently amongst the Fire Emblem fans, people don't like Fates, but I liked Fates, and I played the Warriors one, and that's the only two I played. But games, as far as strategy games, they're not the best in my opinion. Devil Survivor, the Shin Megami Tensei strategy games better, but they're fun games. I like the rock paper scissors mechanic, and I like the characters. Roy's our boy, he's you know.
Smash
Did
Brothers.
you know that?
Hmm?
Yeah, Smash Brothers Melee was the first appearance of the Fire Emblem characters in the U.S.
Yes. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is
So because of that, yeah.
there's probably a lot of people that never heard of Fire Emblem before Smash Brothers Melee came out. Um, you know what made me think a lot about was you ever hear of Shining Force?
I am familiar with Shining Force. I've
So
not played
so
Shining Force.
Shining Force and Fire Emblem I feel are basically cut from the same cloth in a lot of ways. Um,
Mhm.
the whole grid battle, like you got your tactics kind of games, and so Shining Force, at least the way one I remember was on the Sega Genesis 1 and 2, and I remember playing that a
Mhm.
lot. Admittedly, with some cheats, I was a kid, whatever, because there was a cheat you could do that just
I condone cheating, so it's okay.
like looking back on it, I definitely didn't play the game. Like I can't say I played the game, you know what I mean? I saw the story parts of the game, and that's about it. Anyway, Fire Emblem, where are we putting it?
Um, right there where you have like
Okay.
Slow Zelda, probably. I mean, I like them. I haven't played enough of them to really get into. Like I said, I played
Hmm.
um, Birthright and Conquest for Fates, and that's the only ones I played besides the Warriors game. You know, like
Right.
how Zelda had a Warrior game and all that
Yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Those, yeah, I played that one. That was really fun. But that I don't know if I count that as a Fire Emblem game. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, it had
no.
the Fire Emblem characters. Um, Tokyo Mirage Session was really, really good, but that was more of a Shin Megami Tensei game. So, well, actually, it's more of a Persona game, like the
Hmm.
classic Personas. So, I don't know.
Hmm. What was I gonna say? What was there's a Fire Emblem game where there's like the timelines. Like if you would get two characters in your army close enough, then like their kid would come back from the future. What was that one? Do you remember?
So that happened in Awakening.
Awakening.
It happened in Fates, and it happened in everything. Everything Awakening and up is when
Oh.
that started. It started in Awakening, but they kept that gimmick in there.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm saying this as a person who knows Fire Emblem. I don't know Fire Emblem. My brother is a super fan, and he tells me this all the time because he loves Fire
Right.
Emblem. So I know the stuff from him. So it's new information, but yeah, I know actually know that one.
Oh, okay.
Yay!
Yeah, I only bring that because that's like the only one I played, and I don't remember a lot about it. I didn't make it very far into it because it was one of those things that like you know you're younger, you're going on a trip to a camping site, and you're like, well, I've got
Right.
my video game, my handheld with me, but I'll buy a game for it, and that's gonna be what I play. And so it was that game, and I played it for those like 2 days of the weekend while I was out and supposed to be camping, and then I never played it again.
So a really, really weird thing that I found on the internet. So are you familiar with the cartoon Peppa Pig?
Yes.
So according to Wikipedia, Lucina, from the Fire Emblem fame, is the main antagonist of Peppa Pig. And she hates Peppa Pig for no apparent reason. And I'm reading this on the Wikipedia. I'm like,
Huh.
who got permission to do this, and why is this so amazing? And I would watch Peppa Pig if this was true. But it was
This
like it was on the official wiki, so I was like, okay, Lucina from Fire Emblem,
this
the
is
main
what
antagonist of Peppa Pig.
this is what happens when anybody can edit things.
Oh yeah,
um.
definitely.
All right. We're getting close to our 2 hour mark, so I want to at least finish up our line since we started
Okay, of
it.
course, of course.
All right. So all right. Recently in the news because there was a Splatfest last week. Splatoon. Where are we putting this bad boy?
Splatoon is going pretty much on top. Splatoon every time Splatoon comes out, I get it day one and I play it like crazy. I love Splatoon. You and I played Splatoon together.
Yes,
You
we
know how
did.
much I like Splatoon.
Yep. Yep.
It's just a love the roller, love the ink,
Yes. Yes.
love
Yes.
the squids, love
It's
love the colors.
it's very
Everybody's
satisfying to
good.
like a lizard brain kind of thing. 'Cause just the color and the
Oh yeah.
sound. It's just one of those try not to get those dissatisfied moments, and then you lose. But you know,
Yeah, yeah, and I like in a new game when you lose, you don't feel like, oh, I failed and I should go jump off a
hmm,
building
hmm, hmm.
and because everything is bad. You know, you're like rooting like, oh, well, the other team did pretty good. It's good for them when they
Yeah, yeah.
you
And
lose, and I'm like, that's good.
that's one of the things I like about it. I don't really like first person shooter games, but I like that in Splatoon. Yeah, you can pop your enemy and stuff, but that's not really the point. Like
Right, it's the paint the wall. You're
yeah,
literally painting the town.
yeah. So um, and now out of curiosity, you were on Team Water this last time?
I was on Team Grass.
Ah, okay. So you and I can commiserate over losing. Team Water
Right,
kicked
and the
our
thing is,
butts.
yeah, my first Pokemon was Bulbasaur, so go Team Grass.
Yeah, yeah. So
Snoop Dogg's proud of me.
I was Snoop Dogg's proud of me. I was very torn because I lost interest in Sprigatito after finding out its final evolution, and I definitely didn't want Quaxley. And then I was like, well, I'll just go. I guess I'll go with Fuecoco with the starter. And then I was like, but I can't. I don't feel right siding with Team Fire just because of that when I've only picked one other Fire starter in my entire Pokemon career. So it was a perfectly
Were you a Charizard person?
no. I was a Blastoise person.
Oh, nice.
But I was a Cyndaquil person.
Ah, okay,
Um,
Cyndaquil was good.
Yeah, but other than Cyndaquil, I've never picked a fire starter first time around in a new game. It was always grass or water, and it was like a perfect split. So I was like, well, I can't really justify going with Team Fire. I gave way too much thought to this team pick for Splatfest. Let me tell you that much right up front. Uh,
Well, yeah, I get that because you play Pokemon. I mean, you're
yeah.
gonna.
So I ended up going with Team Grass, and my wife joined me for Team Grass, and we had a lot of fun playing together. And the tricolor battles were a lot of fun because it was literally just me and her on a team. So because
Oh,
you get
nice.
you get 2 members from Team Grass, 2 members from Team Fire, and then 4 members from Team Water because they were in the lead, and they ended up winning. So props to them. Um,
Yeah, congratulations,
but
Team
it
Water.
was very fun playing with my wife. I will say. She even said it was the most fun she'd had playing games for a long time. So that was nice.
All
It was
right,
a
that's
nice
good.
Splatoon moment. You know what I mean? It was a
Hmm.
families that splat together, that together, fat. Hmm.
You almost had it.
Yeah, it was right there, and I lost hold of it, and it just kind of fell. It's all the way gone, falling, tumbling through space. Anyway, moving
I
on.
appreciate the effort.
Go get it, Arwing.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm having too much fun.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's all good. Maybe that's why
uh,
it's there.
okay. All right. So you specifically listed this one. It's not necessarily a quote Nintendo IP, but it is a game that is on Nintendo. Bayonetta,
Top of the list.
top of the list,
One
tippy
of
top.
probably my favorite franchise of all time. I love Bayonetta. I can
Are we
talk
are
about
we putting it over
Bayonetta
Splatoon?
over Splatoon.
Oh my
Every
goodness.
time a Bayonetta game comes out, I scream. Okay, so when Bayonetta was released for Smash Brothers when she was announced, I was at the bus station and I screamed at the top of my lungs, and this guy on the bus like, "Damn girl, what's up?" 'Cause
Are you
Bayonetta,
okay?
yeah, 'cause,
uh
Bayonetta's like one of my favorite video game characters of all time, and I voted for her in the ballot thing, and she
oh.
made it, and I was like, "You're kidding me, Bayonetta?" And I was
So
like,
so you were
"Awesome!"
there.
Oh, I was there, and I just got done at a convention last weekend. I met Ray Griffin, who's the voice of Jean, and
Oh,
she was phenomenal. She said every one of John's voice lines, did all her best lines, and I was just blown away that she put that much effort. She I actually got a hug from her too, and it was just
oh.
really cool meeting the voice actor behind one of my favorite characters in the game. It just I can gush about Bayonetta for all day if you let me, and I know we don't got the time for it. Just know that I absolutely love it, and Bayonetta 3 is so good. I love it.
Oh, it's
I,
out? I
I
didn't
just,
know it was out.
oh, it's out.
Oh
It's
my.
out. It,
Oh.
it came out only a few weeks ago. I already beat it. I post 100% of it. It's a phenomenal game. Fair warning though, they did some stuff in Bayonetta 3 that a lot of fans aren't gonna like.
Oh.
So I'm gonna rip that Bayonetta off. I'm not gonna say what it is. I'm just gonna say that there's some stuff in there that hardcore Bayonetta fans might not like.
Ah. Yeah, I heard there was some controversy over the what do they call it? Idiot Angel mode or something like that. Um,
Oh, the Naive Angel
Naive
mode
Angel. Thank you. That
where
was
you
it.
can no. Then with the Naive Angel mode, it's allow you can censor the stuff, so it's not as super sexy, and I didn't ever use it, but I think it also some of the cursing is censored, and here's the thing. Bayonetta is not a child friendly game. If
No,
you
God no.
and if you're taking it on the go, you might be embarrassed playing it.
Mm,
So when you play that, if you're taking your Switch on the go and playing Bayonetta 3, so you
yeah.
can play it in public without being embarrassed. If you are a person who gets embarrassed in public for I don't know, opening up Twitter in public because censor your stuff on Twitter, people. Just saying.
Yeah, yeah. If,
just
if if people could just put a warning over some things on Twitter, I would greatly appreciate it.
yeah,
Um,
just a flag.
just occasionally. They're like do you?
Yeah.
I'm not saying anybody needs it, but like I want to have the option to not have to see certain things. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, exactly.
Like anyway,
I mean,
so
I'm not a prude or anything, but Yeah.
I may be somewhat of a prude just by nature of trying to keep things family friendly and being in an all ages VTuber group. Which, by the way, I wanted to just take a moment to officially say. For those that don't know, Gabriella helped me kind of brainstorm the name of VCoco. So Gabriella, so thank you for that. You are a distinct friend of the VCoco group because you were very helpful in brainstorming a lot of the early parts of VCoco. So thank you. So.
Happy to help.
Yeah. So I wanted officially on the record that that Gabrielle the Ghost Gamer helped come up with the name of the VTuber group that I helped start. So thank you for that. So thank you. Yes, thank you. Thanks.
Okay, so is that the entire list, or
No, I got one last one. One of my personal favorite
okay?
IPs for Nintendo. I'm curious where you're gonna put it on here. A lot of people are hot or cold on this. You ready?
Hmm.
Animal Crossing.
Um. Uh. Okay. I like Animal Crossing. I think Animal Crossing is better for the handhelds than it is
Hmm.
for consoles and all. Last one I played was the one for the 3DS.
Oh.
Nintendo gave me a free copy of
Oh.
Animal Crossing. Because I guess what happened was my brother broke his new 2DS, which I didn't
Oh
think was
no.
possible, and so we sent it in to get fixed, and then they said, "Oh, we're sorry this broke," and then they sent me a copy of Animal Crossing for free. I'm like, "All right,
Huh.
cool, thank you."
They can't complain, right?
Yeah,
So where are we putting it on the list?
I would put it. It's hard to pick for me because I would say just below. It's hard because when I was into it, I was really into it. When I wasn't, it was hard for
Hmm.
when I'm on it, I love it. When I'm not on it, I kind
Yeah.
of forget about it. So probably just below Kirby, I guess.
All right.
Mid to middle. I mean, I like it more. I like Zelda.
Oh, ah. Whoops.
Don't put yourself on the list.
All right. So there we go. So that those are all the IPs that I could come up with off the top of my hat. So there you are. There's
So,
your Nintendo.
what's your opinion on Animal Crossing? Do you like it
Oh
or?
yeah. So Animal Crossing. Let me tell you a story. So Little Otter had a subscription into Nintendo Power magazine. And Little
Mhm.
Otter saw the advertisements for Animal Crossing when it was first being like produced and put out. And Little Otter lost his ever living otter mind. I literally clipped the articles about Animal Crossing. There were three months in a row they had articles about Animal Crossing, and I had those clipped pages from the magazine taped to my bedroom wall for the longest time because I was so excited about Animal Crossing. And when we got it, it was me and my grandma and my grandpa and my best friend. We all had a town together. And when you paid off your debt, you got a statue. And mine was the gold statue. And my best friend, he had the little gray one that you get when you're fourth in line. And my grandma had her silver statue. And we all had towns. And we sent little letters to each other. It was that good, clean, fun kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
That
Oh
is
yeah.
a
I mean,
fond memory.
I played a lot of Animal Crossing with a good friend of mine, and we played for a few years. So yeah, it's a good game to play with people,
Hmm
definitely.
hmm And I, I will say that who was it? I think it was Jaden Animations did a video where it's like there is a lot of things that got lost in the evolution of Animal Crossing. Like there's a lot of
Huh.
quality of life improvements, but there's a lot of like I don't know how to put it, like soul of the characters that got lost in the upgrading process. I don't know. I can't explain how Jaden put it, but Jaden did a good job kind of explaining. Because nowadays, like you got your like three character personalities, and nothing happens really different between them, right?
Hmm.
It's just how it is. Whatever. And don't get me wrong, the newer Animal Crossing games have a lot of quality of life things that you just really can't go back from. and I can't explain what I mean by that right now
I mean,
because
frog chair is very important.
frog chair. Yeah, but like even just like general gameplay quality of life, you know what I mean? Like being able to genuinely customize your space. Like it's hard to
Oh
go
yeah.
back from being able to do that. But there was like I guess the characters felt a little more alive in the older games. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But I love Animal Crossing. Let me be perfectly clear on that. Um
Oh yeah, they're fun.
and yeah. So I like Animal Crossing. That's a full stop. Haven't played a lot of it. I couldn't really get into like Happy Homemaker and stuff like that, like the little off branch games. My wife loved it though.
Right, I only played the main lines,
Yeah.
so I mean, I get it. I've only played the main lines myself, so
But yeah, so that's my take on Animal Crossing. All right. So
okay,
that's the end of the tier list, and that feels like a pretty good stopping point. We're a little over
sounds
two
good.
hours, so Gabrielle, thank you for being on Broadcast from Outer Space. Do you have any parting words for our guests at home?
Remember to brush your teeth. No, I'm not good at saying
If you don't
goodbyes.
brush your teeth, the ghost will come out and will brush your teeth for you. Quote.
Yep,
Quote
I'll be
Gabriella the Ghost
haunting your
Gamer.
houses later.
Ah, was she ever here in the first place? Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I appreciate you coming out. And this has been Broadcast from Outer Space. Next week's guest is, let me see if I can find out on my little list. Yes. Okay. So next week's guest on Tuesday the 22nd is Honeybun Highball. So look forward to that. And until next time, remember to stay odd out loud. It's a lot more fun that way. Good night, and don't let the ghost gamers bite. Bye bye.